Hi again, everybody. This video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous, and here's her story. My brother Marcus wants all the money. My brother Marcus is a mere 14 months older than me. We have both recently hit our 60s, so this is a decades-long review, which makes me all the more convinced of his lifelong narcopathy. It took me all this time to figure out what the hell is going on with him. Thanks to people like you, I am beginning to understand a whole lot of things. I feel chagrined by my lack of comprehension, but would never before believe that such people really do exist in great numbers. I base my previous thoughts upon a forgiving and optimistic heart. I strongly believe that deep down everyone has good in them, if only they were loved and treated with kindness. I now wonder if this sort of idealistic, trusting nature was my own way of not wanting to deal with the hurt and pain on some level, and self-serving in some way. I was also disliked tough, defensive people, and did not want to be that way. I am a woman with 3 grown daughters, 2 grandsons, 4 and 10 years old. My family of origin was comprised of a narc father, a manipulative, sweet-acting mother, the 3 older brothers, and 2 younger sisters. My father served in World War II, and my mom was from a broken home. She never got over it and never did anything to try to get over it. She was a real beauty, but ate her way into fatdom by the age of 40. Boy, was she a good cook. My dad was a successful executive, and we ran a family farm as well, keeping very busy in the summer months. He had been raised on a farm in a big family. He was very well respected, a volunteer fireman and gleeful churchgoer who plucked lots of cash into the basket as it was passed around. There were some very happy conditions of my childhood, but they were mostly physical, external things. Things you do to keep busy and out of trouble. Good hard work, hobbies, games, water activities, sports, and parties hosted at our place because it was so expansive and replete with every activity any kid could ever want. But there was very little affection or real human interaction. My father became increasingly tyrannical as the years went on, and by the time I hit puberty, he could no longer control his temper. He started to hit me for very minor things like going out to the meadow to pick my mother's flowers instead of doing endless farm chores. For the next 3 years, he would slap me, foam at the mouth, and one time he was further enraged at me when he couldn't break a willow switch off the tree fast enough because it kept shredding apart. I just stood there waiting for it like a dope. One time my mom decided that because my dad never spent time with us girls, except for the working stuff, that he should take the 3 of us to a town fair. This was distinctly odd because my mom barely ever asserted herself, especially not on our behalf. I was 13, my sisters were 9 and 7. We got out of the car all happy as we could be, started to walk to the fair with this guy who suddenly seemed like Daddy. I was on the road next to the curb. The sidewalk was really jammed with people. He barked at me to get on the sidewalk. Before I could make a step up, he grabbed me and pulled me back to the car. My sisters were in the back seat crying fearfully as he shouted at me all the way home, slapping my face so that it kept going back and forth in rhythm with his attack. I think I went into shock. When we got home, he told me to get out of the car. My sister scooted upstairs fast, but I couldn't move, so he grabbed me by the arms, dragging me over the rough driveway and up into the kitchen. I was not resisting. I was so numb my mother appeared and was ordered to hold my arms down while he slapped me some more. That I was the worst kid, enraged I was the worst kid in the family. That I ruined everything for everyone. I never fell asleep that night. He did not utter one word to me for 6 months and avoided me. I can't remember him ever looking at me in the eyes except when he was raging anyway. My youngest sister, the baby of the family, died at the age of 49 from all the meds she was on from schizophrenia. Her liver just gave up. I always felt like it should have been me, not her, who suffered so badly because she was not physically abused the same way, to my knowledge, but she witnessed some really bad crap happen to me. She had developed a strange fixation that she was Daddy's favorite. as if anyone could be the favorite of a monster. She lorded this over me for quite some time because my father had convinced everyone that I was bad and undeserving. I later found out that her foreign pay was $1 an hour and mine was 5 cents. I was a good kid. I was a good obedient kid. When my brother Marcus was expelled from Catholic school in 4th grade, I worked extra hard to get good grades and be kind to the family. I walked to Mass early in the morning on Wednesdays, an extra day of worship, clutching a shiny new blue and bright white vinyl book bag that I was very proud of. I wanted so badly to atone for people's sins. I didn't know what people those were or what made me feel that powerful urge, but it did make me feel like I could help things go in a better direction. To this day, I don't know what I did wrong to deserve such a wrath, except for some very minor things like missing school because I was so ill I couldn't move, or not eating venison, which made me vomit. Mom hated it when I stayed home from school. I remember wishing she would just give me one damn hug, especially when my friend picked on me. A truly psychotic kid who seemed obsessed with death and a myriad of ways to convince me I might die if I wasn't careful to do everything she wanted. My mom had arranged for that friendship with the other mother. Mom doted on her boys. The boys called them until her death, as if she was some kind of triple-decker treat, especially handsome, popular Marcus. He was anointed with the holy oil or something, so had immunity from punishment of any kind. I do have to admit that he was funny and somehow dazzling. So many girls befriended me just so they could be in the same house with him that I appeared to have more friends than I really did as a teen. There was Marcus standing in the driveway with his arm around Mom's shoulder, and they were laughing. There was Mom looking at him with sheer joy. There he was in the school hallways, joking with everyone, and just mischievous enough for all the teachers to think he was a boy full of high energy and the kind of spunk and spark that leads to great things. There's Marcus, the football star, that with that big gleaming smile and wavy brown hair. He sure could handle a football, along with most of the boobs in the school. There's Marcus washing his car and Mom waving out the window at such a fine sun. Mom loved her sons and did not teach them anything about relating to their sisters. So even though I reached out in many ways over the years, it was ultimately very disappointing. She let Marcus tickle me half to death when we were little. He made fun of me from the time he could talk, as if that was the purpose of learning how to speak. He proceeded to belittle every choice I made, including my interests, my friends, my looks. I am attractive enough, but he used to come in the bathroom and tell me I was ugly and scrub my zits harder and harder. Mom did nothing about the behavior. When Marcus punched me in the arm every time he walked by or stole the food off my plate, she said, ignore him. She never really looked me in the eyes either, but she loved gazing at Marcus. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why. Marcus wrapped that well-washed and waxed car around the big old tree, which made my mom go into tizzy of loving him more than ever for him just surviving. Emerged unscathed, his excellent self. Handsome, sensational Marcus, miraculously all in one piece. He wreaked havoc on the hearts of all the high school girls. He threw the ripe tomato I had carefully polished all morning long at the tree, smashing them for the delight of watching the blood-red pulpy liquid. He blamed me and blamed me and blamed me. I had really good grades and was promised a good college education. I was talented in the arts and would have had a scholarship. Marcus did not take art courses, nor did he show any fondness for my aptitude for art. My father was completely adamant that I go to a second-rate community college and not take art, which he deemed a waste of life. Guess who went to one of the best art schools in the state? Yep, Marcus did. Anyways, it goes on and on like this. I went through hippiedom, traveling all over the country in a truck, having kids, vowing a life of spiritual rather than material fulfillment, but always going back to check out and see if Marcus will finally ever like me. I needed him to damn like me just a little. Mom watched his babies, not mine, especially the boy. Marcus hoarded around his whole life, who hoarded around, and his wife, who he had trained to avoid and dislike me, left him and became a full-out alcoholic with a minor in drugs. He teaches art at a community college, and it's easy. And it's an easy A, so the kids all love him, of course. He did not allow his kids to play with my kids. Never understood that one. His boy is gay and a big partier. Really, really. The son husband had a gay kid. What a shock. Not to put him down, it's just that Marcus is very disappointed. Marcus had huge ideas for his kids that did not pan out at all, nor did he become a famous artist his mom had so wished for. Dad even financed his life in New York City in his early 20s. One day, I was sipping wine after Thanksgiving dinner, and I tried to talk to him. He said, "Don't talk to me when you're drinking or doing drugs." And that was it. It sounded like a tape recording. He barely ever spoke to me, and that's why I got what I got when he did. I don't do drugs, although I tried pot a long, long time ago in college. I know how to enjoy a glass of wine, but because he has not learned to do things in moderation, he is likely upset with that. Nowadays, Marcus has done so much character assassination on me that anyone who will listen, that my older brother has slowly become convinced I am crazy, a drug addict, a horrible person. I hear reports from old classmates, but they believe him because he has that smile and personality. I had a halfway decent relationship with my oldest brother for a while, but Marcus wrecked all that. Now all my brothers are against me. I still have my remaining sister and we are close, but she is too nervous to talk about family stuff. Her voice shakes and I don't want to upset her. She did okay in life, but has some problems with anxiety. My mother has bought a house from my two oldest brothers, one door down from my dad and she, long ago, and they took care of her until she died. After my father died of stress-related diseases. I think they did a good job caring for my parents, but my oldest brother is now very tight with Marcus on a personal level for the first time, if you can call it that. Now he talks to me the way Marcus always did. It's very strange. Marcus claims to have taken such good care of my mentally ill sister, which is a big load of pig shit, because I did. I cared for her. The two oldest brothers rarely dated and always came to dinner with each other. Marcus even badmouthed me to my own three daughters on any occasion he could fit it in, the daughters that he had previously shunned. Here's the thing. Marcus always talks about getting a nice place in Florida for the winters. We live in a very cold climate. My husband is sure that Marcus is angling to get me cut out of the will. There are millions of dollars because my older brothers didn't marry and have no family of their own. The money just piled up because they are basically hermits. He thinks Marcus wants to get his hands on all of it. My oldest brother has bad emphysema. The other brother is quite overweight with several health problems. Could this be true about Marcus? Could he be this callous? My husband insisted on a retirement move to the South. We are both doing well. I never wanted to leave for good, but now it seems it was a good idea. Not only is Marcus trying to get the will, so is your brothers. This is what happens. They go for the alpha narc. But let me tell you about Marcus, and I've said this about a few other son husbands. Marcus is a closeted homosexual. Oh yeah, he is. Oh yeah, he is. All his behaviors are of a closeted homosexual who hates himself. That's why he does what he does, because you're a woman and he's jealous of you. That is why. That is why. He sees you as a threat. He says you're mentally ill because your sister was mentally ill. So he can pass it off and make it believable. Oh, must run in the family. So you have it as well. All of this is a plan to get you cut out of the will. The abuse before all this was because he is a closeted homosexual jealous of you because he's a woman. Your father might even have been a closeted homosexual as well, as most of these Catholics are. That's what the slaps in the face are about. It's just this rage. You should have cut them all out years ago. If you and your husband are financially stable enough to not need that money, you're not going to get it. And you're only going to pay in your own emotion and your own getting upset. You will pay in your own mental health, and you will never see a dime of that will money. Walk away from it. Walk away from it now and save your sanity. Not only is Marcus trying to screw you out of the will, so is everybody else in the family. Believe that. Believe that. Thank you so much for your donation, and thank you for your story. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you have a story you'd like me to read, if you want your story read on my channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose, or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with the PayPal and my email links in the description box. I'll have the video right back to you. This is going to be my last video of today. I can't do any more. I only have a few more to do anyway, so please keep contributing if you can. Keep sending me your stories, and I should be back tomorrow, no problems. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again real soon. Bye.